live. What's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. Just want to do a quick sound check, make sure microphone's coming in clear. And as you can tell from what you're seeing right here, this is a response required video. Now, normally, I kind of just let stuff slide. And, I think the last movie that I kind of people were kind of like a little bit like indifferent with my opinion was I think it was Alien Covenant. I just really did not like that movie. This movie, it wasn't that. I kind of gave the review number for Godzilla King of the Monsters a 6.5 rating. And I think everyone loses their minds when you have such a big IP and a lot of people really want this to be the end-all be-all of what you want from a platformed Godzilla film. Now, I will say up front, and I will be completely honest with you, as a person that enjoyed certain other movies, I like this one more than I like Kong Skull Island. I like the action in this one out of all three of the other films that have come up before it. And I think personally that those people that are Godzilla fans, what they do with Ghidorah, what they do with Mothra, what they do with Godzilla, what they do with all the different kaiju in this film, you're gonna love. You're gonna be like having like so many different things going through your mind that's just gonna freaking blow your mind apart, to be quite honest with you, what they're able to capably do. But I'm gonna go ahead and focus on me for just a quick second, because the only reason why I'm bringing all this up is because a lot of people have been giving me a lot of flack and a lot of criticism because for some reason they feel as though, I'm not allowed to have a personal opinion about a film that I saw a little bit early, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's fine. People can have their own perspective about the way that they perceive a movie could be. Some of the people that even comment is like, well, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I know for a fact that, all I really wanted from the first 2014 Godzilla movie was action. They didn't give it to me. I'm not denying that. The very first, Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson, the Olsen, there was not a lot of action until the very end. The very end is when we got that moment where Godzilla finally did what he did. And it was epic, but it was kind of like, well, I'm waiting. And then we get Kong Skull Island, which had a lot of action. You had Brie Larson, Samuel Jackson, Tom Hiddleston, an all-star cast for the most part. And you got a lot of action, but no substance as far as, the main actors. And the other part of that, it was kind of just like, we're really waiting for that Kong with Godzilla. So it's like, Godzilla's not there yet. And then we're eventually going to get Kong versus Godzilla in 2020. That's assured. Matter of fact, the end of this movie made me happy that we're gonna get that and the way that it's gonna be filmed, the reason behind it. The hardest part about doing a review for this film was the fact that I couldn't go into detail about certain things. But I'm gonna go into detail. I'm not gonna go into spoiler detail, but I'm gonna go into detail to re-clarify my points. So I said from rip that I thought that Godzilla, as the way they portrayed him in this one, this is the best I've ever seen Godzilla. I think that the way that they utilize his ability, the mythos, the things that you really were kind of just like, man, where did Godzilla come from? They go into this in detail. And matter of fact, the right people are the ones that do a self-discovery about it. And for me, it was kind of just like, I really wanted a little bit more depth from Dr. Ishiro, which is played by Ken Watanabe, because to me, he earned it. From the very first one, 2014, Let Them Fight, I was like, okay, he's the person that's going to unravel this. And they do give him a lot to do, but I was like, this could have easily just been his story, and I could have cut out everything about the Russells. The Russell family, I could have done without. But either way, they do a really good job of presenting what Godzilla is and how he's defined and what they can do with him and what he's capable of. And not just that, his importance to the world, okay? I brought up, I didn't want to give the name Ghidorah because I thought that would be something that would be a spoiler, but I guess everybody wanted me to tell them that. I thought that Ghidorah as a villain worked. The way that they handled his backstory worked. I just did not like the way that when it was a close-up, panned-up shot, I felt like it could have been way more polished. I felt like it could have been better VFX. It just wasn't. I'm going off of comparison of Pacific Rim kind of level. Pacific Rim, the monsters there was not one, in the first Pacific Rim, there was not one kaiju monster that didn't look polished and like to that level photorealistic. And the way that the wide panned out shots when the fights are happening in Godzilla, you know, King of the Monsters, when those wide shots are happening, it's dope. But when it's close up, specifically on Ghidorah, I just didn't personally like it. And you can critique me all you want to. I'm just telling you, that's what I meant. Okay, so I shouldn't have to go through this, to be quite honest with you, but I'm doing it because I'm sitting there watching all these different comments, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just go for it. Mothra. I didn't want to spoil that. I wanted it. Other kaiju and the battles in between. One of the things that I will find as a complete missed opportunity and a negative of this, and it's part of the reason why I had an issue with the human element. When I first saw the very first trailer of this movie, I was like, okay, wait, hold on one second. Are y'all trying to say that since 2014, when Godzilla came out, that unleashed the rest of the kaiju, and the rest of the kaiju are gonna now be like unearthed all over again, and like we're just stuck in like this is their world? And I was like, I'm all behind this. I'm all behind this. And that's not what happened in the film. In the film, we humans have a hand at the way that these titans are coming in and out. And I personally didn't like that. I felt like it better serve the film if the kaiju, from the point that Godzilla came out, from the point that Ghidorah was a thing, that they were like, you know, kind of just roaring a ruck and like just wiping cities and everything clean. Not us be at the like, oh, well, yeah, I don't like this group. Nope. We should do this way. Nope. And that's what happened. And the character motivations were the problems that I had with this. It wasn't the fact that, I mean, you can have dumb characters. You can, matter of fact, you could have had the Russell family just be this one family that were kind of just like non-existently important, but really just trying to survive. Like, matter of fact, if it was really the kaiju just kind of came and it was really about like everybody just trying to survive, I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have cared their significance. I wouldn't have cared about O'Shea Jackson's significance because he's a soldier trying to survive. They are a family. Maybe scientists trying to survive. Maybe trying to do something about it. But like, no, that's not what they do with these characters in this film. Their character motivations are very different. And the actual links of what power they have over the titans that are there is insane. And that's the problem that I have. Now, I'll try to go into as much detail as I can without spoiling it, but there's a reason. I'm not just saying I don't want any human relation. I'm not just saying that, okay, well, these humans are here, like, they're insignificant, because most of the other Godzilla films, they don't have a human element, so it doesn't really matter. That would have been fine. The problem is they gave these humans so much power that they were indirect cause of the things that were happening. And it's kind of just like, versus like, let's let this naturally, tangibly happen. Like, we don't need to be the end-all be-all with these titans that have been for thousands of years. Either way, let's go into it. So, Dr. Emma Russell, Mark Russell, Madison Russell, family of three, they've got an interesting little backstory. I was saying that your boy Kyle Chandler is an Emmy Award-winning actor. Vera Farmiga is an Emmy Award actor. Millie Bobby Brown is an Emmy nominated actress. Okay, so I'm saying that they can act. I personally was happy that Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson were there in the first movie because I knew that they could act. And it kind of, what happened was, for me, from the first movie, a lot of people didn't like the first movie. I did, because in the first movie, in the, like, I want to say the first 15, 20 minutes, Bryan Cranston died. And then it was about the Olsen and Taylor Johnson, like, trying to survive. And, like, there was never a point that I felt like they were safe. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the things that was missing from Kong Skull. I didn't really care if anybody died or not. I cared. You know, there was one moment, there was this little girl, like, she was sitting there watching the chaos happen. And it was kind of just like, yo, like, this is messed up. And the same exact thing, I was hoping for this from Millie Bobby Brown, and that's not the way they played her up. Matter of fact, they played her very indifferent because of her connection with her family. Specifically, I would say with the character of Dr. Emma Russell. I don't like her character, and her character ultimately spiraled Millie Bobby Brown's character and spiraled Kyle Chandler's character, because he's in the uproar, because his character plays like this scientist that seems like he's a Navy SEAL, which he's not. He does no skill set. I don't care if he's a part of this organization or a part of whatever. I'm trying to not spoil this movie, but people wanted it, you're getting it, okay? I might do this more often since, anyway, let me calm down. Anyway, Millie Bobby Brown does a great job in acting, but the problem is, at a certain moment, there's a certain intersection that happens, and after that point, the entire movie, I feel like she's going on this redemption trail that she's never going to be able to win my heart back. There's never going to be a point where I even care, you know what I'm saying, anymore. And it's not to come against Millie Bobby Brown, because she's a great actress. I love Millie Bobby Brown. But it's kind of like her character just got cut short, and that was based on the writing. That was based on the way they portrayed these characters and the underlying theme about what Dr. Emma Russell is trying to do. From a character motivation standpoint, from a plot standpoint. Yes, I guess that's insignificant. All you want is just the gosh darn Titans fighting. But when you really look at the broad scope of why they're fighting and her direct involvement because of what reason, then you're like, that was unnecessary. And it wasn't. Like, from a written standpoint, they were not necessary. And it wastes a lot of time with them. And versus the whole entire time, it could have just been fighting. It could have just been going straight ham and bait. And they do that. This is the best action they've done with this. I'm not negating that. I'm not coming against that. From a action standpoint, this goes hard in the paint. It's good moments. But then there's moments where it gets really, like, where did this come from? Why is this happening? Why is this necessary? Matter of fact, so I presented to you guys like a thought process that I had when I saw the first trailer. And there's a character named, what's her name in the movie? Ooh, I think it's Dr. Eileen Shen, played by, I think her name is ZZ Zhang, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And there's this moment where I kind of like, yo, she's got an interesting story. Like, I was like, yo, between her and Ken Watanaga's character, Dr. Ashiro, I was like, this could really be their film, and I would have been all behind it. Like, matter of fact, if this was about the survival of the human race versus, okay, the human race is trying to fix something that they are indirectly causing from one side of the faction to another side, where it's kind of like, even Tywin Lannister himself is in this movie. He's not really a villain, like, but he is. And it's kind of unnecessary. Like, the way that they plot it is just unnecessary to me, from my personal opinion. So I'm trying to give you guys a little bit more tangible details as to what the reason why I felt the way that I did, because I guess some of you guys didn't get it. Okay, so again, I'm just giving you my opinion. I stand at the rating that I gave it, which is a 6.5, but all that 6.5 is the action that is great, the CG that is great, those panned out shots that are great. And for Godzilla fans, you might give this a 9.5 out of 10. You might give it a 10. But me, as a critic, as an action fan, and as an actual person that loves detail, as a person that loves story, as a person that loves the feeling of hopelessness, in the sense of despair, in the sense of survival, I didn't get this feeling of impending need for survival. I felt like, yo, you got this one or a few different group of people that are messing it up for everybody, and unnecessarily so, still trying to stick to that, even after they know, whoa, this was a bad idea, I shouldn't have done this, oh wow, this is causing this, oh, I'm gonna do it anyway, I'm gonna have a Daenerys moment. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. And I just think it could have been very different. I think that if they would have plotted it a little different, written it really bit differently, I would have had a difference of opinion with it. It wouldn't have just been like I was entertained, which I was. I think that I would have been like, okay, I'm behind this, because now I feel the danger. I feel like desperation. I feel like, man, what is going to happen with the whole grand scheme of all this? Because now, like, kind of like what I've been always hoping for with this one franchise. I don't want to spoil it. Anyway, I saw somebody in the chat. Let me look and see. Derek only wants show the trailers. I'm not sure who that is. I think that's Mo. But either way, hopefully you guys got a little bit more thought on like the reason why I said what I said. And please, if you if you've seen the movie, then please be my guest to critique me. Tell me what you think. But don't be upset because I'm giving you, a critique about a movie that you're very excited for, because I don't want to take that away from you. I don't want to take your experience away from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do. I'm really picky about that myself. Like, there's times where, I haven't seen a movie and I look at this one review and it's like, dang, that kind of put me in a Debbie Downer. But I don't go off of that person's critique because that's that one person. That's always going to be something different for your perspective, from another reviewer's perspective. I've seen people that are other critics that like legit are like, this is the best action movie, period. Where I think John Wick was the best action movie this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've seen John Wick 3 times. You know what I'm saying? And for those people that are their only complaint is that how dare I give Aladdin a 9 out of 10 and give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. The fact of the matter is, I'm a lover of comedy, I'm a lover of nostalgia, and I'm a lover of action. And Aladdin gave me that. Now, that might not be the rating for everybody else. Some people, I know for a fact, I think Aladdin's sitting at like a 53 or 60% rating, whatever. But at the same exact time, I'm the same ninja that like Man of Steel, and people still give me flack for that. That's part of the reason why I started being a freaking reviewer, dog. So, again, I'm not taking anything away from you, but try not to take anything away from my personal perspective of something outside the context before you've even seen it yourself. And it might be that you do enjoy it more than me. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that that's one of the biggest things that I love about this community as a reviewer, as a critic, that we all have a difference of opinion. We all can get something differently from this, and we at the same time meet at a middle ground. You know what I'm saying? I think that this is going to be a really interesting discussion that I end up having with some of the other YouTubers, because I know that CJD from Three Black Geeks, they had a difference of opinion. They really enjoyed it. I know my man Najer from Big Old Bell, kind of similar to my thoughts, but very different at the same exact time, and the reason for it. Matter of fact, the movie was his most anticipated movie this year. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of a middle ground for me. I've already seen pretty much Lion King is probably my most anticipated film, and I think the thing about Aladdin is that it took me completely off guard. It took me to a place where I was kind of just like, I really enjoyed this movie. I really had fun with this movie. And this is a way I was kind of just like, man, yeah, there was some campy, choppy stuff, but there was some powerful scenes. There was some really good moments of clarity, and just kind of just like musical numbers and dance moments, and the comedy wasn't too off the beat. Do they chop stuff up? Yeah. But I really enjoyed it, and I don't think that there's a reason or a necessary thing where it's like, oh well, because you view it this way, you should say this about this. And I think that's the reason why I love doing reviews, because I'm always gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people just think because I'm always doing positive reviews for the most part, that's where it's always gonna be. And I mean, to be quite honest with you, there's some movies that I avoid because I know they're going to be terrible. You know what I'm saying? And I think that maybe I should get off of that mode, because maybe I'm putting you guys into this perspective that I'm always going to say positive things about certain things, and that's never going to be the case. I'm always going to be completely honest with you guys, regardless of what the film is. And I just want to let you guys know I love you. Please respect my opinion. And for those people that did say respect, God bless you guys. You guys are awesome. For those people that did also give feedback, thank you for the views. At the end of the day, like, you did give me views, and I think we're close to like 6,000, views for that. But 141 of you guys dislikes. I was like, dang, if you could actually go and give a response. But I am not taking away from anything from the Godzilla dynasty that has been going since 1960s. I think that from an action standpoint, this is probably the best the action has ever been, or might ever be. But I think that, to be quite honest with you, I'm more excited for Godzilla versus Kong. I think that that could be something where it's kind of like, man, now we're here. Where is this gonna go? Because now at the end of this movie, it's kind of like I'm kind of got what I wanted, but the way on the road that it took to get there was unnecessary for me. You know what I'm saying? But either way, hopefully you guys got something out of this. I'm gonna put my little thing back up there. Hopefully you guys got a little bit more clarity from my personal perspective of the way I thought about this movie. But please make sure you leave a like, make sure you share this, and I will attach this also to my review. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later on. If you have any questions, directly send me a message, and you can also follow me on Twitter. You can go at tweet_JVS if you have any questions at all. I can't go but so much details because I really don't want to spoil this film, and I don't want to go beyond you know, my realm of thought with it, because it's not the time. Now when that spoiler review drops and y'all want it, I got you. Alright, keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Y'all have a blessed one. And to Rasia Taken, hi. Thanks for coming, you guys. Alright, peace.